Royals! The next morning, and it's our last day. It's travel day going back. But I have a surprise. Royals, I'm still in Providence. I was supposed to be on a flight or boarding a flight right now, but it turns out there's a lot of storms coming to the East Coast, and thousands of flights have been canceled. Hopefully, Benitez won't get canceled, but yeah. So I am sitting here exploring Providence because I have to stay here overnight. After I calm down and decompress, I'll come back and tell you what my plan is. Well, since I have a few minutes to spare, might as well look around. So apparently Providence has this mall, so I'm in Zara. This looks cute. Very long though. Because we don't have a Zara in Charlotte, so this works out. So we'll see. We just came here to the Capitol just to see, because we passed by I don't know how many times, but we never stopped. So, and it's really pretty. All right, let's go back to the room and decompress until Benita really has to go. All right, Royals, I am back in the room. Yes, still in Providence. I just realized I have not updated all of you, so let me tell you what's going on. So thankfully, Benita was able to get on her flight, and she is on her way, as far as I know, back to her hometown. However, I live on the East Coast, and there were apparently a lot of storms that came through on this side. My flight, and actually, so I heard, hundreds of flights. Actually, some people at this hotel had to redo their booking, everything, and they had to stay another night just like me, because flights were canceled out of Providence. Some of them were. And with that, I also am not going to be leaving out of Providence tomorrow. Your girl, your queen, is leaving out of Boston. So I have to actually catch a train early in the morning, ride to Boston, from Boston, get to the airport, and leave there to go straight back to Charlotte. It's a lot. I've never really experienced a canceled flight. The only one time I experienced one was through my work, and they handled all that for me. So I was on the phone this morning for an hour or so trying to get this all figured out. Royal tip, the key is to stay calm, nice, because the person on the other line has your life, as your travel in their hands, and just use good common sense. And if you're a person of faith like I am, pray. So with that being said, I will be leaving to go to Boston early in the morning to catch a flight back to Charlotte. But here's a surprise. Remember earlier I said I had a surprise? So here's the thing. I was actually supposed to be leaving to go to St. Louis tomorrow. So I was going to get home to Charlotte tonight. I was supposed to be home right now in Charlotte. And then the next day, tomorrow, which is Friday, to leave to go to St. Louis. Well, all of that had to be moved because of this flight here in Providence that has messed everything up. Thankfully, I'm on the same airline, American, because American, we have a hub here in Charlotte. So I was able to not only move my Providence one, but also move my St. Louis one. But with that, I had to actually make changes to my hotel that I would be staying in St. Louis. So it was a domino effect that I had to make some changes. And thankfully, everybody has been very accommodating. I haven't lost anything except for I had to pay for an extra night here. Thankfully, American didn't charge me any extra fees for changing anything, and hopefully the hotel that I'm staying in will be able to give me a refund for the one night that I'm now missing with them. So if not, whatever, you can't help Mother Nature, but it is what it is. But pray that I can get my refund at least for one night, because now I am now going to St. Louis one day later. Thankfully, I am an adventurer. I am a risk taker. I am patient, and I am nice. So, all of this happens for a reason, whatever reason. And I believe in things like that. So when things like this happen, you just got to just, like I said, stay calm and just go with the flow type thing. Thankfully, I work for myself, so I didn't have a job to get to. I didn't have to get back to, anything at home in Charlotte. The thing I just have to do is just when I get back home, I have to repack for St. Louis and then just get back on an airplane that next morning. So it's just more of an inconvenience, I guess. I will update you as soon as possible whenever I get to Boston or whenever. So you want to be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification button, so when I do update you, you can be notified right away, and I'll let you know what's going on. Also, hey, and do me a favor, have any of you experienced a canceled flight? If so, leave a comment for me. Any advice, help, support at this point would be great. So if this happens again, I will be able to be better prepared with some type of tip. Operation Get to Charlotte, take 2. And just like that, Royals, I made it to the Boston airport. It was actually a pretty good ride. Thankfully, everything went smoothly, and now just going to be here a few hours waiting for my flight to board. Ooh, Royals, I finally made it back in the comfort of my own home in Charlotte. Thank God for safe travels. I am back after a long journey of a flight being canceled. But I learned some things, and I want to share 4 tips for you today because in case you have to go through this, I assume everybody's going to have to experience a canceled flight in their life, especially if you travel as much as I do. So hopefully these 4 tips will help you. Number 1, try not to be emotional. I understand this is a frustrating situation. We're human. You are annoyed. You're probably tired. But getting mad, yelling at the hotel agents, yelling at the flight agents, anybody that's trying to help you, you raising your tone, raising your voice at them, or coming off really annoyed is not going to help the situation. Honestly, it's probably going to make it worse. They have your life, your travel plans in their hands. So if they probably feel any type of attitude coming through that phone, they're not going to probably accommodate you the best way they can. So my advice to you is just to stay as calm as you can, keep your voice low, and just be patient, because that's going to help you get through the situation, because it definitely helped me. Number 2, have an open mind. Try to be as flexible as you can. Like in my situation, there were no flights going out of Providence until 9 o'clock tonight. That was not going to work for many reasons, and I don't like traveling late at night, and a lot of times late flights actually get canceled. So the other option was for me to fly out of Boston, which was less than an hour away. Try to be as flexible as you can. Don't be so rigid in trying to get yourself accommodated, because that's probably going to make the situation worse, and it may delay you in getting home faster or getting to your destination faster. Number 3, be prepared as much as possible. Obviously, we're not going to be or have expectations that this is going to happen. We expect everything to go swell and to make it to your destination without any mishaps, but that's not the case. So whether it's packing an extra pair of clothes, having some cash on hand, some snacks, because in my case, going to Providence, there were no restaurants, no anything, and you don't want to be sitting in an airport hungry on top of you already waiting to catch a flight. Just in case something like this happens, you'll be prepared and ahead of the game instead of trying to recoup yourself after. And then number 4, the last thing is, don't be afraid or too proud to ask for help. I say that because, especially me as a female solo traveler, I learned this a long time ago, that if you are stuck or if you think you're in a not so good situation, you want to just go ahead and open yourself up to ask for help. I mean, don't give them a whole bunch of information like telling them that you're traveling solo or anything like that. But it's better for you to just go ahead and kind of explain what's going on, or try to at least ask a question to get some help, rather than just standing there trying to figure it out yourself. I say that because in this situation here, when I went downstairs to get another room or get another night to stay in the hotel, I told them that I was going to have to pay $70 to Uber myself from Providence to Boston. I was just talking out loud, but the other agent that was not helping me, she was just standing there. She said, "Hey, I'm from Boston and I travel back and forth from Boston to Providence, from Providence to Boston all the time. Did you ever think about taking the commuter rail?" And I was like, "What's a commuter rail?" And so she explained it, and it's just basically at the Amtrak station to where, because it's like it's one specific train set up to where it stops from Providence to Massachusetts and back and forth. That's all it does. It's not really the Amtrak, but it's you catch it at the Amtrak station, but they just go back and forth, and to people that basically just have to go from city to cities in the vicinity, basically. That ticket was, I don't even think it was like $12. So it was that, and then she says, well, then I was like, well, then how am I going to get to the airport, the Boston airport? She's like, oh, that's easy too. Once you get to the station, all you got to do is catch the bus that goes straight to the airport. Like it literally is like within a few miles to the airport. That's all it does. And I was like, is that easy? She's like, yeah, all you got to get is a ticket to get on the bus and catch it to the airport. Royals, let me tell you, it was the easiest thing ever, all because I opened my mouth to kind of tell the situation. I spent less than $15, but was going to spend $70 to catch an Uber. When I say don't be proud, it helps. Because I was flexible, because I had an open mind, I did this. Now, I understand if it's just not your thing, like catching public transportation is not your thing, or you just don't trust yourself, you would just rather Uber, then, no judgment, right? But if you are open and have an open mind to do something different, and if you're on a budget, you may want to think about other options. So I hope those 4 tips helped you. And I mean, honestly, I hope that you don't have to go through this. But again, I really probably think if you travel a lot, especially via plane, something's going to get canceled. And the way the world is today, especially here in America, we got stuff canceling, inflation going up, just a lot of things happening that you want to be as prepared as you can. Okay, I am done because like I said, this is not over. I just came from the Charlotte airport, but guess what? I'm going back tomorrow. So stay tuned. You want to catch my next solo trip to St. Louis. I got a lot of adventures going to be happening there. So stay tuned. So you want to make sure to subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss my next adventure and where I'm going. And comment below. Has this ever happened to you? As far as a canceled flight, do you have any tips you can share as well? And if not, just comment below on how did the tips help you that I just gave. All right? And share this with someone because you never know this may happen. Thank you, everyone who has been listening to my vlog and my series. I wish you adieu, and I will see you next time. Bye. So it reached 97 degrees outside. Imagine how hot it is in this unit. I've sent multiple emails.